Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from beautiful downtown Beaufort and Low Country Produce. I'm joined today by Jessica Mattson, who's here to talk about Children's Organ Transplant Association, or COTA. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Karen.
So glad that you came to join us this afternoon. I know that this organization is near and dear to your heart, and we're going to talk about that. But you're here to talk also about the New Year's Eve masquerade ball that we're going to have at Tabby Place, which is just around the corner in downtown Beaufort, on the 31st of December to kick off the new year.
That's right.
Yeah. So tell us why you're holding the ball.
The ball is being raised to help with my transplant-related expenses, be my medications, my appointments, travel back and forth. I had my double lung transplant last September 29th. We had our first annual ball last year at the shed and have decided to do it downtown this year. We plan on making it an annual event though, so there will be more to come.
Excellent.
Yes.
So we know that you're not just a survivor, but someone who has been thriving and living with cystic fibrosis and has gone through a double lung transplant like you mentioned. But for lots of people out there and viewers who are watching this now, they may not be familiar with cystic fibrosis. So can you give people some information about what cystic fibrosis is and what it's like living with cystic fibrosis?
Living with cystic fibrosis post-transplant is amazing.
Good.
I can breathe.
Yes.
Before transplant, I was actually on 6 liters of oxygen, 24 hours a day. I was hooked up to my nebulizer and my machine. It's a vest, basically like a life vest, and it has air tubes that you connect to the vest that connects to a compressor. Basically, what it does is it gives us the independence to beat every lobe of our chest independently to cough up thick, sticky mucus. Our mutation is where it doesn't allow us to have the thinness of secretions like normal people. So to prevent really bad lung infections, which we still inevitably get because we have cystic fibrosis, the machine helps us to loosen those secretions and cough them out. I would be attached to that machine for several hours a day. I took several medications, inhalers, nebulizers, irrigations for my sinuses. I've had over 15 sinus surgeries in my life. But with cystic fibrosis, it affects about 30,000 Americans alone in the United States. I want to say 70,000 worldwide. It's a very scary disease. It's very life-threatening. Basically, you have multiple lung infections through your lifetime. With those lung infections, you get lung damage, which eventually leads to death.
Right, or the need for a transplant.
Or a need for transplant. Yes, there are many that wait for transplant and unfortunately don't get transplant in time.
And just because you've had the transplant, and we've talked about this, doesn't mean that you're cured. You still have cystic fibrosis. It is a systemic disease.
Correct. Most cystics that have transplant at some point do require a second or possibly even third transplant. The lifespan of a double lung transplant on average is about 5 years. There are people out there that are 15, 20 years out. I plan on making myself one of those people.
Yes, we do too. That's what we're hoping for.
Yes, but if the need comes, yes, I would go through a second and third transplant if needed.
So this event that we're having, that you're having, that you've got lots of friends and family who are helping put this together, I know your husband is here watching, is to benefit COTA for people like yourself and others who have all these unbelievably, incredibly expenses around lung transplant or transplants in general. So if people want to come to the event on the 31st and participate by donating money to this wonderful cause, how can they buy tickets? How much do the tickets cost? Let's give people some of the details around that so that we can get people out there to help you and others like you.
You can either buy tickets online at the webpage that's located below the screen, or you can buy them at the door. They're $75 a ticket. We are also selling VIP tables. For a 10-seater VIP table, it's $12.50, or you can get an 8-seater table for $1,000.
So just so that people out there also know that they're giving money to COTA, roughly the expenses around someone having transplant surgery, what kind of dollars are we talking about?
Well, for a double lung transplant, such as myself, it can roughly be $300,000 to $500,000. Alone, my medications, even with my insurance, we pay out of pocket about $20,000 a year for my medications, which is a lot of money.
Which is a lot of money. It is, yeah. So we so appreciate you coming on this afternoon and being a guest on North of the Broad, sharing your story, hoping to create some awareness around other people who have gone through the same thing that you have and can benefit from people coming to your particular event on December 31st here in Buford. So thanks so much, Jessica. We look forward to seeing you again, and wishing you the best of luck at your event.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that wraps up this edition of North of the Broad. We hope to see you next time.